It's shaking YouTube. This is the Angel of Authenticity reporting from just outside the motorcycle shop today. Taking a little walk, so I'll probably get all out of breath because I'm not no spring chicken no more. But neither here nor there. Today's about first time for everything, you know. You hear a lot about like you're gonna have to walk away, leave people behind, and whatever, but like, what if your job is literally to be there sitting in the muck, keeping people afloat, getting them to safety, you know, even if you're not the one that physically walks them to safety, like, you're still that beacon of light that encourages them to get aboard, right? So I just thought about doing a message like that, you know, because like, if it is your job, I mean, sure, there's lots of times that you gotta just walk away and hope that they follow shortly thereafter. But like, when they don't, or if they do, either way, you're there for them last scragglers, you know, is the way I see it. We wouldn't have to call in all the little earth angels and star seeds out there in the world, had everybody gotten on the path originally, you know. This is like the last call for alcohol kind of deal. So with that being said, like, I have a lot of messages, and really they come at me so hardcore that I feel like it's spiritual warfare for sure, because of the amount of them I get and the timing of them that I get about leaving people behind. But it's like, I ain't no U.S. Marine, you know, I never signed no clause saying I wouldn't leave nobody behind, but like the whole point of being here, if you are here to save people, would be not to ever leave the person behind, you know, and Christ kind of talks about that. He talks about him coming back when as many people that could be saved will be saved as possible, like, at that moment. And he's not really big into like, oh, you don't believe now, but you'll believe in 10 minutes from now when I do all this crazy shit. Fuck, he couldn't even get people to believe in him. Parting the Red Sea and all this other crap he was doing, you know what I mean? People were still talking shit, and a few minutes later, they'd forget all about it. How amazing that thing was, you know? And that's something that I try not to do. So I figure if I'm still stagnant in a place, I don't look at it like I'm letting God down, because God put me here in the first place. I look at it like, who haven't I saved? What haven't I done? There's more here that I could do. And I'm not doing it, obviously, because I have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, you know? So what am I missing? Who am I missing? Where do I go from here? And sometimes it's just the time. You could have it right on, I think, probably the first time around and live 2 years more. It's some bullshit, bogus, whatever, because by the time that it's time for you to move on from that spot to the next spot, you know, whenever that is, for whatever reason, and whatever determines that, it's not up to me, say. But by that time, maybe 3 more people get on board. But it takes all that time of watching you just be on board, maybe. I don't know how it really works, but I do know this much. You only need a little bit of faith, you know. And if you don't want to leave your people behind, I don't think that there's any warrant or reason to do that. I think that that's the enemy coming against you most of the time. As long as your people aren't sitting down in the depths of hell, like reaching for you, trying to pull you down with them. Oh, what are you doing? Falling over? Oh, no, just come on down here for a minute while I get ready, you know. If it's like that, then maybe have a red flag going. Maybe I got you wrong. Maybe you're not worth saving, you know. Or maybe you are, but like, I got to be careful with you. So you're still operating with some unclean spirits as your neighbors or something. I don't know. But like, for a fact, I don't think the guy would want us to leave a man behind, just because of the way it's like well known in the Bible that once everybody that can be saved will be. And that's our job here as little earth angels and star seeds and divine ones, intuitives, empaths, whatever you want to call yourself. Is to make sure everybody gets on board with the right agenda, which is not, I don't think there's a book written about it like there is like the 2030 shit. Or 2025, or 1984, like, they don't really write books about that. If anything, if they wrote about a book about anything that we do, it's pretty much like the Truman Show, I think. I mean, that was always an important book to me. That movie was an important movie to me. You still got to pay to rent it most of the time. That's how you could tell if it's a good one. When the shit's 20 years old and you still got to pay to rent it. You get it free every now and then, maybe if it's that old, but not when you want it. They'll run it for free like 6 weeks after you rent it, you know. So like, I was originally going to do this about adversity. You know, and adversity for one person looks totally different for the other. Like adversity for me right now would be the fact that when I paid for my phone, it wouldn't let me keep my phone number. It wouldn't let me do nothing. It wanted a new phone sent to me for free. Like, I like free phones, but I just got a new phone, so I didn't really want a new phone, you know. But I have a roommate that does need one that I can use, or at least switch them out, the one that I got now. So, it wouldn't let me buy the minutes at all, though, for my monthly service. I'm not going to say who the carrier was, but... So, I order it, and it says 1 to 3 days. And now, like, as you can tell, the weather's been horrendous here, especially when you ride a motorcycle. You ain't riding no motorcycle when it looks like that outside. You're just not. Like, I could get it out the driveway, and I could get somewhere maybe, but, like, it's iffy at that. It's just stupid to do it, you know, if you can't even get out the driveway safely. But, like... So then I have to wait 1 to 3 days. Now, I had already paid for the service card and the new phone that they had to send to me. But, like, we're at 3 or 4 days now, max. Like, I don't know, it's probably been 4 days now. Hard to say because I ordered it about midnight on that, on which day they're going for. But I bought the service card too then, you know. I just really wanted my phone to work when I did that. And of course, it didn't do that. It's like I can't even buy more minutes for my phone right now. I gotta wait. So it's just frustrating. It's just like a way to get you to stop doing what you're doing, stop talking, stop posting, you know. But like, God's always got your back with that. And if you can't see it, then maybe access denied is what I call it. It's sometimes for your best interest. You might not be able to see it then, but like, there's a good possibility it is. But they're just like a hover parent, you know. The people that determine that, they worry about you more than you need to be worried about sometimes. So like, this is where I'm at. This goes to the Kankakee River there. I hang out at a bridge up there a couple of miles. You can get up underneath it if it's bad weather. Like, so anyway, it's been over a week now, and like, of course I can't check any of the accounts that I have at all because they all want to confirm with my phone number. I could tell the phone number tries to come in, it's a spot, sorry you can't get it because you don't have enough funds on your account. And it's like, bullshit, I don't. I paid it, you know. You insisted I had to have this new phone and all this other crap, I hope it's worth it. But then, is what really made me change my perspective on that is like, that new phone that they're sending me for free was a phone that I looked at probably 2 years ago or something on the line. And it was like on a wish list, but it was so expensive I would never be able to afford it. You know, it takes pictures underwater, you know, it's like a good Nokia phone. I mean, good in comparison for that kind of stuff, right? But when I first seen it come out and the specs on it, I was like, oh yeah, baby, you know. So like, here's where we're at now. I hope I don't drop you in the water or fall on my ass. I need to put my other glove on here. But yeah, like, I realized that they were giving me the phone for free, though, that I thought I would never be able to afford. You know, I was like, oh, I wish I had one of them a few years ago, as I was messing with a crappy one like the one I got in my hand, which is a great phone, too. Like, I like it. It's never given me any trouble, so, like, I don't like to replace things that hasn't caused me problems yet, you know? I replace something immediately if it's giving me problems, if I can, but... I mean, I give everything the benefit of the doubt. And, so it's kind of like with people, I guess, you know. They say, oh, you can't look back, you gotta leave them behind, they can't go with you. And it's like, whatever happened to it's never too late for a brother, man. Whatever happened to it was never too late for somebody to find Christ. Even if it's at the last second, and the last minute, and the last day, the last decision they make. That's what my God taught me, you know. Jesus loves you. Like, that's so forgotten about in religion and the culture anymore, because them demonic fucking assholes don't want anybody to know that that's the way it is. You know? Our battle's already been won. All you got to do is believe, man. So, and that's the way it goes. And what's going to happen if you're wrong? You're going to believe in what? Loving people, being a good person, giving your life over to the light side, like things that are happy and prosperous and abundant and high vibration, you know, as opposed to like bathing in rivers of blood. And I know it sounds like a lot of fun going to hell, but it's really not, you know. I know how Satan, he's a very convincing salesman. That's what he is. He's a salesman. Like, let's get this right. He's the best used car salesman on this side of the Mississippi. He'll be like, yeah, we got all the babes, and we got beer, we got rock and roll. Yeah, man, no, the goblins will be here later, man. But, like, the heathens, yeah, the heathens are here. Come on in. The ghouls will be in any second. They just called, you know. Yeah, bring your people, come on in, you know. And it sounds like a good time till you wake up that next morning and you're trying to chew your arm off, because them girls in hell are ugly, dude. They be ugly, they be scary. You think you're a bitch that watches soap operas and don't have no fucking Dr. Pepper or something for the day is scary? Huh. You don't even know about them girls. They're a whole different level of, like, fucked up scary. So, I don't know. That's just food for thought, I guess. So, it's never too late for a person. I don't care what anybody tells me. If I'm too late and I fuck up my whole Earth Angel mission and apparatus and they brought me this far just to be loyal and, like, fuck it up because I was loyal, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem like that's how it would go. Like, it just seems like they would take into account that I was going to be like that, because that's just who I've been to make it to this point, right? So, I don't know what the right answer is to that, but I always say it's never too late. You know, once everybody could believe and will believe and does, that's when it happens. So, like, I don't know. I just figure I just keep doing what I do. It's worked out for me this long, you know. I mean, it hasn't really worked out. Like, it's a matter of perspective anyway. I don't want to speculate on what it could have been or what it should have been, you know. Sure, if my life wasn't altered in the ways that it was, I would be a different person. But, like, it also would mean that I would have never tried so many things and done and experienced so many things that kept me in a box that was a bunch of bullshit. It was a big bullshit box. It was a box that was made out of bullshit, like compressed, that real good compressed shit, you know, like they make trailers out of. Compressed bullshit box with, like, bullshit glue and bullshit nails and everything that shipped it in bullshit trucks, you know. That's all it was. So, like, what's the point anyway if it's going to be like that? I was never one to want to live a mediocre life, and I wasn't really doing a lot anyway. So, I mean, they kind of did that for me and cleared up my schedule pretty good. So, I mean, really, that was kind of a dumb thing to do, because, like, you got a whole generation of ladies that didn't get the privilege of raising their children. Either they would be at work or they'd be at the grandparents' house or something because the state made them do that. And, like, you take away some ladies' kids and all their purpose and all their hopes and dreams like that, like, you ain't got nothing to lose. Like, that's a badass person right there. It's like these trafficked victims, man. You want to talk about somebody that can keep a secret and that are fucking diehard, fucking hardcore people, man. Them fucking abused people are like that, you know? It's like, I want them on my side. I'm going to give them motorcycles and guitars and see how we go from there, you know? Because, like, that's way better than what they got going on now. So anyway, I don't know. Just don't ever leave a person behind. I don't believe in that. It's not the way I work, you know. Sometimes you do have to leave people behind when they're not ready to do what they do. If they can't take that leap up to your spaceship, like, sorry, I drove by 3 times, you didn't jump in, I thought you had a ride. Like, that's still legal. That's what it was in the 1995. That's what it is now, you know what I mean? You could cruise by a few times still, you know. You don't just say, fuck them, they're not getting on. Like, yeah, they're not going to get on because you won't drive by to give them that shot to get on. Every now and then you'll have that last motherfucker that'd be jumping on and, like, running with the truck and trying to get in the back, you know. I had a possum that did that once to me on my motorcycle. I come up to some roadkill, and it was eating roadkill, and it was going real slow because it was gravel, and he stood up on his hind legs and went like, ah! And as I passed him, he grabbed onto my saddlebags, man, and he was trying to climb up on my bike. I was like, oh my God, he's going to fuck me up, like big time. I'm trying to shake him off, you know? It was crazy. He was like running with the thing and holding onto my saddlebag. I couldn't believe it, dude. They got little hands just like rats and raccoons do, you know what I mean? They look just like little people hands. So I was sympathetic with it. I seen his little hands, so I just went fast to make it end faster. I figured that was the most humane thing to do, right there, really, with that. So, like, yeah, I haven't had the chance to post anything in a while, which isn't really that much of a shame, but, oh man, and I haven't let it get to me this time. Usually I do, when I have adversity fucking with me, but this time I've had a different take on it, you know, because, like, I figure I'm a late bloomer anyway, so I hear. I don't know really what that means. I was out on my own at 16. I don't know, a late bloomer for what? Like, to catch on? Because I still don't know what the hell's going on. But, like, I do know this much. I know that you got to stick with your roots and don't be tied to it, and don't let that make your decisions either. You know, don't let nostalgia fuck you out of your future. But at the same time, your nostalgia is the reason why you have your future too. You know, whether it's through your ancestors or your divine energy that you're channeling, or the divine ancient ground that you walk on. Like, so there's a balance there that you have to learn and keep and know. And I don't know that anybody gets it right, but I'd rather go down in history trying and failing than to have just gone and sacrificed everybody else there behind you. Like, yeah, you took the leap, you're on the spaceship, but everything else blew up now because you left. Something, I don't know, that'd be my luck. You know, the second, like, I leave the cat in charge or something for half a minute, just a half a minute, you know, like the whole fucking place is in flames or something. Yeah, that would totally be my luck. So I don't know. It's like, no, motherfucker, we're all going together. I need some proof here. As soon as I jump on that spaceship, I don't need no shenanigans going on to where it's my fault that the floorboard broke and now everybody's getting sucked out to space when they drive it. No. I need some witnesses that are tangible, like witnesses that I could actually bring in with fingers and toes that could, like, write shit, not like the spirits or nothing. They're not real good in court, you know. Even though they are the court. That's none of my business, and I'm not going to speculate, so I'm just saying. They're in the heathers. Them heathens in the heathers. I don't know. Them guys are alright, I guess. But, like, they shouldn't be here on Earth. And we shouldn't be fucking with them. And you shouldn't talk to them and stuff. It says not to talk to dead people. And God also says that the dead people in your dreams and stuff aren't dead people at all. That's not your grandma. That ain't your dad. That ain't your sister. That's demons tricking you and trying to get you to consent to things in your dream state that you wouldn't normally do. But since it looks like your father or your mother or whatever, you know, that old friend, it'll always be like that. They say new levels, new devils. When you're really breaking a threshold in life with your spiritual ascension and your spiritual awakenings, you know, whatever you want to call it, it'll always show up then. You'll always start getting these new dreams that are different, you know, and all that stuff. So don't be afraid of your awakening, but also heed that. If you realize that all the dead people you see in your dreams, and I say dead people even though they're very much alive in your dreams, you know, I dream about my children all the time. But it's just a way of playing on my anxiety, stuff deep down in my psyche, and the demonic shit that they do to trick you, to get you to consent to do things in your dream state that you wouldn't normally have no reason to do. Well, if you do it for your little son in the dream state, you know, they'd be stealing people's destinies like that. And that's what they do. But that don't matter because that's cheating still anyway. And all that's getting brought out to the wash. But you need to know that so you don't get tormented and terrorized. And you can lay the things to rest that are there. A lot of times, you know, it's kind of a favor to you in a way because you could see right where you need to heal because that's where they targeted. So that must have been your weak spot, is the way I look at it. Like, I'm not real attentive to some things. So like, hey, thanks for pointing out my weak spot. I wasn't quite sure where it was. I knew I had a whole bunch of them up in there, but you know, if anything, it helps you out a little. No, just transmute that energy and look at it that way if you have to. But God will never rush you. It's never right now, right now, right now. We gotta go, we gotta go. Hurry up with God. That's always Satan energy. God will give you all the time in the world. He already said he was on tweaker time. That a bazillion years on earth is like a day in heaven, and vice versa. A day in heaven's like 7,000 days on earth, or whatever he says. So, knowing that, he'll wait as long as he's got to wait for you to come right. It's a matter about sustaining the human race until then, I think, is the big thing for a lot of us. And as the tumultuous conditions happen and the illusions fall away, it becomes more and more evident that everything falling away isn't something that was a good thing, or safety falling away or whatever. It's not that we're actually more safe than ever, you know, with the illusions falling away and the matrix falling apart, or whatever you want to call it. Because the fact of the matter is, I mean, you got to repent. If you wait till that sky parts and you see that God's coming, it's going to be too late for you, and you're going to be one of them people cursing at the sky. And so many people have had the vision of it. Anybody that's like really intuitive or whatnot have had dreams or visions of what it would be like at the end times. And it's horrible. You're kind of numbed out from it when you're one of the ones that are ascending above it, but like, people are just screaming at God, you know, and shit, because they feel the pain and the wrath of just a terrible, terrible way for a long time, for months. And, you know, I think some of them like have to endure that sting for 5 months. Like, they'll find and seek death, and they won't find it. You know, you don't want to be one of them guys, so. Repent before he gets here. Have a talk with him. That's all it takes. And God says that if you get in to the point where you talk to him every day, and that, I mean, that just takes you even talking in your head. You don't got to say it out loud. You ain't got to put on no preacher suit and put a carnation in your vest pocket or nothing. Like, you ain't got to do none of that. You just got to talk to him while you're taking a crap, or like you're taking out the garbage, or walking, you know, or whatever. When you're working and you hate what you're doing, talk to him. And once you do that, he starts looking at you like a friend, and you're able to talk to him like a friend, and you will. You'll be able to talk to him just like a friend. You're not worried about if you curse during your prayer or something like that. They just make it look like a big deal because they want you to stop doing it. And they know already that you're a threat if you're already praying to God like he's your friend. That's a fact. Because that's a certain level of Psalm 91 protection there. They don't like that. They don't like that at all. They know already you're there, and it's like, so yeah, they try to make you feel bad. Oh, you can't talk to, you're not talking to God. What God are you talking to? Like, you don't even listen to that. You know the difference. You know the sound of your Father's voice. Your Father's voice will never belittle you. It'll never make you feel smaller than or not good enough. You know, God made us perfect in his image. He looked at us and said that we were good. You know, because of our free will, we have evil that we combat, and we're still perfect and still good to God's image, as long as we repent, because God made it through Jesus' death, where we've already, they knew we were going to fuck up, and so like they let him do all the fucking up for us through Jesus' death. And our battle's already won. Like, the light is already won, but that doesn't mean that things can't be changed with people knowing the outcome of it. Like, every decision you make is so important. But like, when Satan agreed, like, oh, you can't have one human being out here that cannot mess up, and God's like, puh, I bet you I can. Bet you can't. And then here come Jesus, walked, and he died young, and he died soon, but that was because, I mean, think about it. If you had to just have one person not commit any sin, You know, there was Jesus. The longer he lived, though, the more prone he would be to committing some sin, no doubt. But either way, it's already been done for us. Like, the shit's being back engineered if you pay attention, which I have a real hard time going backwards. I go so fast forwards, like, it's hard as fuck for me to go backwards. We ain't got no old school VHS tapes or nothing that, like, or cassette tapes that you flip, you know? You flip and then you're at the beginning on the other side or whatever. I wish. So everything backwards for me, like, I don't use the clock or the calendar either at all, so that makes it even trickier for that aspect. Because I have no concept of time. It's, you know, it just, in about 2016 or so, my time just started going by so fast. I felt like I only had time to get up and go to the doctor, or get up, you know, get the baby dressed, get me dressed, and like, that would be it. That's all you'd have time for. You know, you barely make the store before it closed. And it was so discouraging, and it was like so like disheartening to me. I was like, my God, I used to be so responsible. I mean, I couldn't even make it nowhere. Before dark especially, but like I would be the last one in the store and shit every time. I'd make it just barely. And so I just said, you know what, I don't know what's going on with time, but it's fucking janky. So I ain't using it no more. And then I did that, and it was the best thing I ever did. It was, because like I realized God doesn't give you a time frame. God doesn't say, okay, do it there at this time, or else I'm giving up on you there, Kevin. And like, it's not the way God works. That's the devil all day long. They need you to hurry up because they got to hurry up to let you step in that pit or the bullshit that they got spread out front for you. Because they paved you a path, sure, but it's paved in cat litter box shit. And fucking janky ass fucking roadkill, you know? So, God don't do that. Yep, and he makes you sit in the fire for a long time. He will make you sit in that fire. He'll make you get in the fire. He'll make you sit in the fire. But he does make you fireproof. And when you come out of it all, what's your reward besides everlasting love and eternal faith and hope and life, you know, milk and honey and all that good jazz? Well, you have faith. You have faith. You don't have the spirit of fear ingrained in you. So when all these people are jumping off cliffs and screaming and crying and bawling their eyes out, and they're living in a hell, like literally. You know them people now. The people that are just so erratic that they can't slow down. Like, your reward is faith. And faith is you get faith through obedience, and you get faith through prayer and just the knowing, you know. That's a reward you get. That's not just being faithful. Like, being faithful isn't like being funny. Being faithful is something that gives you a mark on your chest that says, I was loyal, I was obedient, I was in tune with my Father's word or whatever. And you get faith. If you don't have faith, you don't got God's favor. You got faith. You got a person walking with faith. One faith walker and one believer is stronger than God's whole army, really, when he wants you to be. But you're stronger with one light worker. Sorry, I'm a lot of breath. See how pretty it is out here, though? For a bunch of crap. That sure is nice. Anyway, one light worker is as strong as Satan's whole army. One believer. So, until next time, you're a rebel without the devil. Frozen.